Are you still on social media? Raise your hands if you are. You see, now you're sitting at home with your hands in the air. This is how easy it is to manipulate people via social media. By the way, if you didn't raise your hand, kudos to you, you are stronger than me, so write in the comments, I'm stronger than you. Okay, hold on. I'm not gonna make you do anything else. I'm just gonna explain why I quit Facebook 3 years ago and why I think at least you should reconsider your social media use. And you might say, yeah, I'm telling this from a YouTube channel, which is also social media. It's true, but I do think YouTube is a bit different. And at the end, I'm going to explain why. If I ask you why you're still on social media, I guess you would say, oh, yeah, it was really cool when I joined 10 years ago and I just have never bothered to quit, which is actually true. It used to be much, much more hip when it started. It emerged from obscurity around 2010 in Hungary, and it was really the reddest thing around. Remember back then we had only freedom and access to Western media, let alone social media, for only 20 years at the time. And indeed, back then it was really cool. In Hungary, at the time, it was mostly middle class students on the site. I remember when I joined in 2009, just to upload some photos after a school trip in Austria, you really felt that you had some community going on and something special and something new, really cool is going on with this site. People really had a sense of connection and interacting with people who you are actually interested in. People also did post stuff which were interesting and which had like a personal sensation to that. You just had a sensation of something new and cool, and one had a sense of real community back then at the site. I even posted some jokes and memes every so often. And then it became more and more ubiquitous, and the sensation has just slowly faded away. It was around 2014 when Facebook became really popular and mainstream in Hungary, and all walks of life joined. Yes, including the elderly. And yes, the cringe posts started. You know, there is this rule that unless they are a very tiny minority, the level of communication in every community is going to be determined by the lowest possible level in that community present. You know, it's similar to the saying that if you add champagne to a sewage, it still remains sewage. And if you add only one drop of sewage to champagne, it becomes sewage. So, yeah. Fast forward to 2021, or actually 2018, because that was the last time I was on Facebook. And the ordinary personal thing you are going to find in your feed is the breakfast of your neighbor's niece. Or maybe your grandpa's good morning coffee mug postcard. And shared posts about global warming, about politics, and rants about how much you hate those bastards who cannot even park properly, about cyclists, about your boss. Oh, sorry, not your boss, because it can actually get you fired. So maybe the cleaning lady who messed up your office last evening. Well, it doesn't really matter. Facebook has just become a place where you can vent your frustration and push your political and ideological beliefs into everybody's face. The worst types are really the complaining posts like, Friday night, hooray! The whole weekend ahead to relax and party. Oh well, you are a mom? Facebook has become a cancer. Good thing is, however, that the youth is leaving the sinking ship in droves. And really they should. Facebook and social media altogether created a polarization in the society at a level never seen before. Just look at the 2020 US elections. Facebook and social media all seem to be responsible for the rapid mental health decline of the youth. Imagine you are 15 and you see all your mates and friends, everybody having the best adventures and the nicest relationships all around you, at least in their timelines. Yes, it even gets down adults who, at least in theory, should have a well developed self esteem and self image. It looks like social media is making people actually antisocial. But hey, you said you had joined because of how rad it was back then when it started. And if I ask you why you wouldn't quit now, you would say possible The FOMO, fear of missing out, the big one. Or isn't it really just fear of moving on actually? Maybe indeed you would miss some party invitations and you couldn't sell your hardly used Uggs in a Facebook marketplace. But you can sell them anywhere else. And the invitations? Well, if your friends don't bother to send you an invitation via SMS or WhatsApp or, wait for it, phone or in person, then maybe you will just need new friends. Remember, social media connection is worth zero unless it is supported by a real life relationship. And what about YouTube? Well, if you watch so long, then you can see how on YouTube you can express and elaborate ideas deeper than your last meal. Your channel is a small community, your tribe, if you will, where you can open up and build personal relationship to your viewers. Is it ideal? No. Is it at least a bit closer to how we have always existed and communicated as humans? Maybe, just a touch. Is it worth more than reading the political rants of your nursery best friend from 20 years ago? I'll let you decide.